Streets of New York City to the mayor's office and the Oval Office. President Obama said to be fuming after the backup Air Force One buzzed ground zero at Lower Manhattan. An F-16 escort tailing the jumbo jet over the Statue of Liberty, sparking panic, as you might imagine, and flashbacks to 9/11. And it was all to update Defense Department photo files of Air Force One flying over the Statue of Liberty. The president's now speaking out. Listen.
It was a mistake, as was stated. It was something we found out about along with all of you, and it will not happen again.
Well, the commander-in-chief a bit more reserved than New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Listen.
Why the Defense Department wanted to do a photo op right around the site of the World Trade Center catastrophe defies imagination. Poor judgment would be a nice ways to phrase it, but they did. I also think that once they had told us we should have done a better job, had I known about it, I would have called them right away and asked them not to. It is the federal government, and they can do in the end what they please. The good news is it was nothing more than a ill-considered, badly conceived, insensitive photo op with the taxpayers' money.
Well, the White House signed off on this photo op with a John Hancock from Military Office Director Louis Caldera. Caught in a firestorm, Caldera said, "Last week I approved a mission over New York. It's clear the mission created confusion and disruption. I apologize and take responsibility for any distress it caused." Mike Paul is an image and reputation consultant. And Mike, you look at how carefully this administration has crafted its image, and then this. Wow.
Well, I guess there's a lot of people that are working in the federal government that don't remember, from a federal worker perspective at least, what we went through. I guess the Bush administration workers have all left, and the guys that came in weren't involved with it. And the reason why that's so important, this is an emotional issue. The #1 story in the world right now is the swine flu. The #2 story in the world right now is the flyover issue. They both deal with fear, and they needed to think from our perspective as New Yorkers to say, wow, I really feel your pain. Quite frankly, though, those with the NYPD and those in the mayor's office had the responsibility. It wasn't a miscommunication in that they didn't speak. It was the message that was within it that wasn't clear.
And the #3 story, Mike, is the wars.
That's
We
right.
got 2 wars going on right now, fighting wars on 2 different fronts, and a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, hold on now. One of the quotes I read was, this was a bonehead move from top to bottom. If you are of right mind, are you thinking, you know what, let's fly a 747 near ground zero and have it trailed by an F-16? It's just not common sense.
Well, I'm writing a book on reputation right now, and there's a whole chapter on the issue of thinking from another's perspective, putting yourself in my shoes. And the federal government from D.C. did not think of those who live downtown Manhattan and work downtown Manhattan. Those who are trained now, as soon as you hear something or you see something, you get out of the building. Those who are at their homes, both on the New York side and the New Jersey side, who were filled with fear. Not only yesterday, but quite frankly, they're still filled with fear today.
And we look at the pictures now, Mike. You know, we should note for our viewers, the FAA is the one that said, look, they approved this. They told NYPD, they told a number of different agencies, and they told those agencies to do not tell the public. Go ahead and fly the jet near ground zero, but don't notify the public. Someone's got to take fault for this.
Well, even if you didn't tell the public, leaning towards the responsibility of that communicator from New York to say, look, I know this is usually top secret, but are you thinking from our perspective? Are you realizing that people will be fearful if you come too low, if you come near this building? We know how close the Statue of Liberty is to Lower Manhattan. On both sides of the water, people will be filled with fear. Please relay that message to your superiors before you make this decision, even though it's going to be top secret.
Top secret. Mike out. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Trace.